Hello everyone, Kitty Foss here, your storytelling astrologist, reader of the stars. Today is July 18th, 2024, and I'm here to talk a little bit about what is retrograde season. Retrograde season is nothing unusual. We have retrogrades every year. Mars is the one that retrogrades the least, and we do not have a Mars retrograde this year. We did have in May is when Pluto went retrograde. It was the first of the four planets, and today was the last of those four planets that went in. We have Neptune, which is an outer theme energy. It's in a bigger kind of energy, an overall arching energy. Pluto is one of those as well. And then we have one bridge planet, which is about our daily energies and those outer bigger themes, which is Saturn. And today Mercury, one of our daily planets, went retrograde. A lot of people talk about Mercury retrograde. This is a particularly interesting set of retrogrades, and let me tell you why. First of all, we've had this 7-month period up until the beginning of July, where all of the outer planets and both of the bridge planets, highly unusually, like statistically, you might have a better shot of winning the lottery, all switched signs, 2 of which started brand new cycles. And the reason why that's statistically really kind of strange is one is a 246-year cycle, one is an 83-year cycle, one is an 18-month cycle. So, I mean, the fact that in a 7-month period they all switch signs is a little mathematically interesting. So in this retrograde and in this shift, this evolutionary shift that we're in, I'm going to talk a little bit about the energies and their signs and what this retrograde season may bring to you. Now, I've seen a lot of people warning about a lot of activation, a lot of sparking up, and that is very true. All signs have expansive expressions or denser expressions. We tend to pay a lot more attention to the denser expressions because they're kind of right in our face. But this is what this evolution is about. Your ability to choose, your ability to take a look at it. So let me talk to you a little bit about it. So first of all, what I want to tell you always about is that the sun watches all of us and what we do, and the moon knows all of our secrets. Those are our kind of big placements that we talk about that are happening. And in retrograde season with these 4 retrogrades, let's talk about the spiritualness that is changing. We're looking at our ego, our pride, our performance, how we look at things that go forward. There's a lot of plot twists in our story happening right now. And really is about saying what you want and authentically being who you are and letting go of outside definitions of yourself, outside ways we're supposed to be, whether they're organized, structural, have been around for centuries, or whether they're familial. This is really about tuning into, and this energy is coming in, something beyond what we've been able to do before. I watch, I want, I win. Starting energy that is available for us right now. So let's talk a little bit about the retrograde and what it's going to be. So let me tell you about Mercury in retrograde, which is the one we all seem to know a lot about. Mercury is the planet of communication and experience. It rules Gemini, which is our only personal air energy to make us how we think. Mercury itself is in Leo. Leo is about the sun, and remember, the sun watches all the time. It's about, and Mercury in Leo is about our passions, what moves us forward, what is creative. Leo is the sign of the sun. Mercury wants us to experience ourselves, experience how we communicate. It is spending 85 days in Leo. Highly unusual because Mercury is a fast-moving planet, but what's happened is Mercury has just gone into Leo about halfway through. Now it's going to go back over that first half and then all the way through the sign of Leo again. So that is what, looking at our passions, what drives us forward, what is creative. It is that energy to move us forward in commonness that is going to be the bigger theme of what our passions are, having to do with the other pieces that are retrograde. So when you think of retrograde, think of it as 2 people or 3 people walking together, and one of them slows way down, one of them continues to go fast, and when you turn around it almost seems as if they're going backwards. Well, it's not really backwards, it's just that they've slowed down. So it becomes about internal work, internal energy aligning. There's a lot of planets aligned, and some of this has to do with our inner and outer worlds and letting go of old ways we've been told we should be. When we measure outside of ourselves and we don't talk to that spark, that spirituality inside of ourselves, we are inauthentic. This is is about our authenticity right now. And so this 85 days in Leo is about where we explore those passions. And when it is retrograde, we explore our authentic passions, our experiences, and how we express them. That's why technology gets a little, it wants us to slow down. It wants us to turn inward. It wants to look at how we speak to ourselves, how we speak to others. And in Leo, what are we passionate about? What is it we really want to see? Be aware that there will be a lot of sparking up of rhetoric, a lot of sparking up of energy. You tune in to who you are. So let's talk about Pluto, which is retrograde. Pluto is a collective empowerment. It is very much technological. Pluto in Aquarius is all about the we. It is about the transformation of we. It's challenging our existing power structures and focusing our vision. In retrograde, it helps you look at your long game, your long energies that you're working on, and perhaps where you have subconsciously blocked or resisted change or not looked and used innovation. You may be holding yourself back to limiting beliefs. This is a great time to say, do I have to believe it that way? Do I really know that that is true? If you have never heard of Byron Katie, look her up. This is about building your future that exists, that you can create in your reality. And it's about the collectiveness of it. This is about the evolvement of mankind. We have Saturn and Neptune, which is a very interesting combination. Saturn being our bridge planet that's about building the bridge of our structures, how we look at things. Neptune being about spirituality and uncovering. And they have been traveling together in Aries and will continue to do so, which is unusual. So that's about the embodiment of spirit, the embodiment of creating structures that allow spirit and spiritual growth and uncovering to happen. That's why truths are coming forward. So it's really interesting because as we look, both Saturn and Neptune, again, that's one reason they're traveling together, are retrograde. And when we look at Saturn retrograde, we are reevaluating our boundaries, our structures, and our long-term goals. Wow, we go back up to what are our passions of our Mercury retrograde and our Pluto retrograde that wants us to look at what's blocking your long-term gain. And now we're looking at our long-term goals and actions. And it's going to go all the way back where we'll retouch in this retrograde season about that new embodiment. It will go back and dip into Pisces, where we'll reset the karma around those structures with better understanding what our long-term gains are, what our existing powers are, what we've blocked, and again, authentically looking at who we are. And then because of our retrograde with spirit, with Neptune, very much the water, very much the emotions, though. Remember this is a lot of churning of emotions. It's, inspiration and action. And they are intertwined in our new identity, our new past, our new personal empowerment. That's what Aries and Neptune is about. And really interesting in retrograde, it's to process and examine our beliefs. Do I really believe that? Do I really want to believe that? Does that really make sense to me? Again, look at where you measure outside of yourself versus inside yourself. This is about building trust with yourself in order to learn and attract those people that help you grow. And it's looking at our beliefs. This is all about our identity that block this new identity, this new embodiment of spirit. So it's looking at our structures, our beliefs, how we look at each other, our empowerment, what our long-standing limiting beliefs, and again, authentically who we are. And this all is traveling in retrograde with Saturn, traveling with Pluto, these bigger, higher energies, these bigger expanded understandings. So those bigger themes are the Neptune and Pluto placements, Saturn being the bridge to our daily. And then we have this one daily and energy, that Mercury retrograde in Leo, and we are exploring again our passions, our experience, how we experience things, how we communicate that experience. This is a great time for growth, a great time. And I'm not saying that there won't be things around you, but when your device doesn't work, how are you going to react to it authentically? Perhaps it's just saying, take a break. Pay attention to how you're looking at those things. I'm Kitty Foss, storytelling astrologist. This is my looking at retrogrades over and this will, like I said, retrograde season is not uncommon. We have Uranus joining in September, I think. So this is all about how we internally embrace what is externally unusually shifted for us. Please share. I wish you well. Namaste. Remember, you are the person your soul sees you as being.